Thank God that I'm okay.
I mean, how are you even feeling right now?
I'm just grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that I was able to go home and kiss my sons, be able to hug them, because when I was on the plane, I didn't think that I was ever going to get that opportunity again.
I know you were going you were a godmother, so you were
Yes.
going to see a new baby, a flight back and forth that you had done countless times.
Yes.
So when you're coming in for landing, at what point did you realize something was actually wrong? I mean, you've touched down, right? And then what?
So the flight for the majority was smooth. It wasn't until we started descending and the flight attendant said, in case of an emergency landing, don't grab your luggage. And everybody was kind of looking around like, that's strange. And then as we were descending, the plane started to experience turbulence. And she said the pilot wants everyone to keep their seatbelts on because of the turbulence.
Yeah.
And we hit a very rough landing. It almost felt like the plane jolted. And after that, you hear the pilot try to brake, and it was like a grinding noise. And then after that, it was a huge just boom, and we just all jolted out of our seats. And it was an eerie couple of seconds, and then we realized, okay, the flight crew is not able to give us guidance. I was actually sitting next to the emergency exit door, so I opened the emergency exit, let out passengers, let myself out. There was no slide since the flight crew wasn't able to set that up. So by the time I got out, an emergency personnel helped me jump off the wing of the plane.
I mean, that's incredible. So you actually opened the door because, I mean, obviously the pilots, I mean, in the horrible tragedy, had died. The flight attendant in the front that was strapped in is alive but had been ejected.
Yeah.
Right? That this was on you and others who were trying to get everyone out. You know, so you talk about that boom and jolt. I mean, it happened very, very quickly when you think about how fast you're going, right? You're down a second or two, and then, but it sounds like you're saying you felt extra braking. You felt that they did in those last milliseconds when they were aware something was happening. They did everything they could.
They did. I felt like the pilots saved our lives. I felt like their quick thinking and quick action braking slowed the impact and lessened what could have been an even bigger fatality. They're the heroes. I'm forever indebted to them. They're the reasons I was able to make it home safe to see my boys. And my heart goes out to their families. They're in my thoughts and prayers. I've been crying all day about them.
You know, and we just, I know you said Antoine Foray was the first time you've seen,
Yeah.
and he was a young pilot, and I mean, you could see the pride he had in his work in that image. But you were saying how odd it is. I mean, when you're sitting on the plane, you hadn't seen the pilots, of course.
Right.
You wouldn't, you didn't even know who they were. It just would have been a disembodied voice. But now,
I get to
the feeling of that they gave up their lives to try to save everybody else's.
Yeah, they're the unsung heroes in this, and I'm forever grateful that they were quick and tried to slow down as much as they could so that the impact wasn't as large.
The surveillance video shows that moment of impact, and I know you're on the inside, so you felt it, and you felt what that timing felt like in real time as a human being on board. But when you watch that, I mean, how does it feel different watching that image from the outside versus where you were actually on the inside?
Watching it from the outside, I almost feel like I'm bracing myself for the impact again, because I had just seen that perspective of the plane and the fire truck colliding. I have not been privy to the footage yet because I've been trying to get rest, which I've not been able to do.
No.
And so seeing the footage for the first time today is just as scary as experiencing it.
And I know you mentioned your two boys, and obviously you said they don't know what happened. But how did it feel when you did get to see them?
Like I won the lotto. I didn't think that in those few seconds, I thought, oh my God, I'm never gonna see them. I'm never gonna get to tickle them. I'm never gonna hear their laughs again. I'm never going to hear them say, I love you, mommy. Like, that's it, and I'm not ready for it to be over. You know, they're so young. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, so I was just very thankful when I opened my eyes the plane had not combusted, because that's what I was anticipating.
The fire.
Yes. And then I said, let me open this emergency exit and let's get out of here before something else happens and get to safety.